What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Post to Post podcast. With me, as always, my co-host Matt Small. This week's episode is episode 49. As you can hear, I'm almost better over this cold, over this sickness. How are you feeling tonight? You doing okay?
Yeah, I'm doing better.
Good.
Did I tell you my throat was all fucked up too?
Oh, good. That's good.
I think my house is just dry as shit. I think that's it. I woke up like a few days ago. It was just raw and like just, I couldn't gargle at all. Type it. I'm like, I don't know. Thought something was going on, but I'm like, no, the house is dry, thank God, because I thought I got it from you. I'm like, damn it, Chris.
You're welcome. Yeah, no problem. Real quick, I'm just going to rattle off some stuff with the standings here. Panthers still up top, 10-2. I'm sorry, 10-2-2. Hurricanes 10-1-0. They got their first loss from the Florida Panthers, I believe.
Panthers, yep.
And then we have the Senators 3-9-1 to start the season off. Looking rough there. Thought they were going to come out a little bit better than that. I believe Matt Murray was on IR for a little bit too. The Blues, top of their division, 8-2-2. And the Oilers, sneakily at the top of their division with 10-2 record. Haven't really talked too much about them with the storyline of Carolina and Florida. So they kind of snuck up there to get to 10-2-0. Kraken slow out of the gates, 4-9-1 to start their inaugural season off. And the Coyotes get their first win of the season, 5-4 over Seattle. So they are now 1-11-1 at the very bottom of the league. Just wanted to rattle that off there.
Mm-hmm. Little update.
Yeah. Oh, too. I forgot to mention the Ducks too. Out of nowhere, 8-4-3. We weren't really watching them. Kind of thought they were going to be a dumpster fire this season.
Yep.
Troy Terry's putting the team on their back. Point streak of 12 games, and through his first 13 games of the season, he's 9 goals and 7 assists. So fucking insane. A couple other quick shout-outs too. Jordan Kyrou on St. Louis and Andrew Mangiapane on the Calgary Flames. Both looking very hot. Kyrou's leading the St. Louis Blues in goals, and Mangiapane is just playing really well with Calgary. So it's good to see Calgary adapting and letting their young guys kind of fly and do their thing and, let Johnny Gaudreau breathe a little.
Right. I like Kyrou too. Kyrou's a good player there.
Yeah, he kind of came out of nowhere. I didn't really know too much about him until this season.
No? Really?
Yeah.
I was going to say, because I've been watching a lot of Kings games. So you got Kyrou, Athanasiou, and,
Kyrou's on St. Louis, though, yeah?
He's on St. Louis now, yeah.
Where's Athanasiou? Is he on the Kings?
Athanasiou's on the Kings, yeah.
That Alex Iafallo, I feel like I talk about him every week, too. He's fucking nasty.
Mm-hmm.
I like his highlights.
Just random guys that were like, they were decent that are now kind of like blooming,
Yeah, they're definitely getting from third, fourth line up to the top 6. So.
Right, exactly.
Good to see.
Mm-hmm.
Starting off for some retirement news this week, Braden Coburn has announced his retirement. He's known for his 9 years in Philadelphia and 6 in Tampa. He played 983 career games with a career high of 234 points. He won the Stanley Cup with Tampa in 2020, the shortened season.
Mm-hmm.
He was traded to Ottawa this season and traded again to the Islanders, where he played 3 games. And he had a solid, long 16-year career in the NHL. We wish him a good retirement.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely a big assist guy on the blue line back end. 49 goals, 185 assists to add up to those points. So, yeah.
Yeah. Coburn is funny doing this. When I looked him up on HockeyDB, I was looking at all the years with Philly compared to all the years in Tampa. And, thinking back, man, Coburn was, that guy. You saw Coburn and, a logo, a Philly logo came up. But now I was like, you know what? Now that I see him, I think about, a blue Tampa Bay jersey now. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm looking at his stats right now. He had a good 5 or so years in Philly, 07 until 2012, roughly.
Yeah.
And then he kind of fell off after that. So Philly kind of sold low on him and got him over to Tampa. But no, I wouldn't say he necessarily turned his career around in Tampa either. No. The numbers never got back to what they were, but he was definitely, a solid presence on the blue line that kept people, made people keep their heads up.
Right,
That's
exactly.
the phrase I'm looking for, I guess, here.
Maybe a veteran guy, yeah.
And another retirement, too. Rick Nash's number is going to be retired with the Blue Jackets. This will take place on March 5th against the Boston Bruins. He'll be the first player to have his number retired in Blue Jackets history, which is interesting. He was the 5th captain in Blue Jackets history, and he announced his retirement from the NHL back in 2018. He played 9 years with the Blue Jackets, and after 15 seasons, 1,060 games, he was forced to retire due to a concussion he sustained in 2018. So congrats to him. Good to see his number going up to the rafters.
So I found out why they picked the Bruins game to do this is because Nick Foligno, who was the captain for Columbus, is going to be there or should be there. So they want him to be there to congratulate Rick Nash.
That's pretty cool.
So that's cool.
And then you also saw this week when the Boston Bruins played the Edmonton Oilers, they did a nice tribute to Colby Cave and his wife. Colby Cave passed away, I believe it was last year. And he played for both the Bruins and the Oilers and was a big part of both organizations. A lot of the guys knew him. So It's nice to see the NHL considering, we talked about it last week about why do they pick these random games the X date out. So
Yeah.
that is cool to see why they're doing Nash then, and cool to see that they did Colby Cave the night that the Bruins played the Oilers.
Right. Like, I wonder if it's the same thought process for this Pecorine retirement, you know?
Yeah.
It's coming up in a few months, and you gotta wonder, like, maybe it's just like a specific date, kind of like this that they're looking for.
Yeah, exactly. You want to take over for a couple?
Sure. So, as of tonight, Ovechkin passed Brett Hull in goals. He scored number 742 against the Blue Jackets tonight. He's now 4th in all-time goals scored. He needs 36 more goals to tie Jaromir Jagr, who's got 766. And second is Gordie Howe with 801. And first it's Gretzky with 894. It's going to be a big mountain to climb for Ovi if he wants to even catch up to Gretzky. I feel like you could say that to any guy in this league right now. But, yeah, good for Ovechkin. Dude's been in this league for fucking ages, man. And then the whole, like, Ovi, Sidney Crosby thing. Remember that whole fight back? I think this is really
I think it's
answer
still going
here.
on. I don't know if that is the answer, because I think Crosby has realistically done more for the Pittsburgh organization than Ovi's done for the Caps, right? Ovi's only gotten them 1 cup. Crosby's gotten 3,
Oh,
right?
yeah. Mm-hmm.
If you look at it like that. So, I mean, I think that's why the conversation is still open and
going.
people are still talking about it. Because even to this day, the conversation goes on. But you're absolutely right when it comes to Gretzky. Like, that's going to be the one number on this list that I think is questionable.
Mm-hmm.
I think he'll probably get Jagr done before the end of the season, barring injury or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And Gordie Howe will probably come next season. So, I mean, I don't really see this as news anymore. Like, I honestly wish we could just never talk about this until he retires, you know? It's like that's where he's going to sit.
Right.
It's like, oh, he tied, oh, he passed him, oh, he tied, oh, he passed him, you know?
Just after his retirement, then be like, all right, who did he pass? Where is he now? Just, like, do that. Just get it all done in one swoop, you know?
Yeah, but I do like to see him and Crosby compared because they're just that close in talent, and they're two different kinds of players. Like, you see what Ovechkin's specialty is. It's that left wing right at the hash marks, you know, one-timer, and Crosby's more the finesse guy, and I would say more of a I was going to say more of a two-way.
Could it be? I was gonna say he could play Mick too.
Yeah, I think he definitely can. But I think Ovi's definitely more of a pure shooter, you know?
Oh, yeah. Ovi's got his spot, man.
And I would say Crosby's more of a two-way too, actually. Like, there was a time in Ovi's career where he just didn't play defense. Remember, like, there was a big meme when there's a 2-on-1 in the defensive zone and Ovi's the next one back, and they just, like, pass the puck over, rip it up high, and Ovi's standing there, and it says he has, like, the Xbox thing over his head. It says controller been disconnected. It's so funny. So it's funny to see that.
Russians don't run back, huh? So moving on to more news here. The Chicago's making more changes. Chicago Blackhawks head coach Jeremy Colton was fired last Saturday, as well as Thomas Mattel and Sheldon Brookbank. Derek King was named interim head coach. Derek King has been the head coach for the Rockford IceHogs since 2018 and being with the team as an assistant coach since 2016. So he's been with the organization since 2016, which is good. It's kind of the guy you want. Colton was named head coach back in 2018 and had a career 89 wins, 92 losses, 26 overtime losses with the team, and only made the playoffs once back in 2020. Where they were eliminated in the second round. Since coming in, Derek King is 2-0, and they play tonight against the Coyotes. Do you have the score right now for the Coyotes?
I do, yeah. That game is going on right now, I believe. Yes, Blackhawks are up 1-0, and I'm glad you put in that they won their last 2 games because it's nice to see that the change of pace is actually working there.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about this last episode where you brought up that Jeremy was just gave the players, like, here's the board, you guys figure out how to play. Like, it's gone to that point.
Yeah.
And I think after the team saw that, it was like, all right, yeah, we're going to
get rid of you, what are we paying you to do here?
Yeah,
you
right.
know?
You're the coach. So it's good to see this. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, from where they are in the standings, there's only up to go.
From where they are in the standings and from where they are in, like, NHL news in general, it's I guess this is a good
hopefully this is a
good
turning point.
Start. Yeah, right. Yeah, that's right. I did this. You kind of explained it, but I got more in depth with it. Can I?
Yeah, I explained it incorrectly. So yeah.
Yep.
Go ahead.
So we talked about the Seattle Kraken Salmon toss, And so, actually, ironically, this week, the Kraken and NHL put up something that made it specific. I was like, "Ooh, let's actually get through this," because I was interested at least. So the Kraken selects 3 stars of the game to toss a plush salmon into the crowd as homage to Seattle's Pike Place Market.
I want a real fish. Bro,
when you said
hilarious.
real, I was like.
That'd be fucking awesome.
Yeah, but who wants to catch a real fish, man, and carry it home? What the fuck do I do with this thing?
Yeah, put it on ice and then sell it 30 years down the line. Seattle Kraken first game.
Imagine getting on the trains and stuff going home. It just smells like just rotting fish. I didn't even think about that when you said. I'm like, oh, it's pretty cool that they throw actual fucking salmon.
I guess the live animals go onto the ice and the stuffed animals come off it, right?
So each plush salmon is 22 inches in length, where it is the legal catch length in Washington. Seattle plans to create a plush version of different salmon species each season. So it's not going to be this; it's going to be a seasonal thing. Each fish that flies into the stands will have a tag with 5 facts about sustainability. Seattle hired an Indigenous peoples consultant to ensure the tradition respected the Indigenous peoples. They said, "We were told that fish, salmon in particular, are very important to the people of this area, that they should be treated with respect." So it's cool that the Kraken has gone this far to do something for a after game thing.
Yeah, definitely.
For the fans, right?
Mm-hmm.
And for your fan base.
And I think that them saying that the salmon should be treated with respect is probably the point where they were like, yeah, we probably shouldn't do live ones, right?
Yeah, right? Do we kill it before? Do we just throw it live to the people? What do we do?
So Matt switched up the pace here this week. We put our somber news in the middle of the episode. So
we talked about this. You're like, oh, I think I said we'll do fun and sad and then end with fun. And I think you said end with sad. Is that what you said?
That's what most podcasts do. They mostly just sail it off.
Yeah. Well, I there's a lot of sad news this week, so I wanted to do it in the middle and then end happy.
So we got a Boris Sadecki update here. 2 days after Boris Sadecki's death, general manager of the team, Bratislava Capitals, Dusan Pasic Jr., committed suicide. Dusan was only 36 years old. His father had also committed suicide at the age of 37, which makes this story even harder to read. The Capitals have asked the Ice Hockey League to suspend their team's participation for the remainder of the season. I think that's probably the best way to handle it.
Yeah.
It's tough to see, and it's obviously unfortunate,
Mm-hmm.
But we have mental health awareness spreading around the NHL today, and after these 2 untimely deaths, there's now a push for better awareness and more accessible help for the Ice Hockey League as well. So there will be some good to come out of this, at least,
Right. That was hard. The whole Boris Sadecki thing came out, I think, the day before we recorded the podcast last episode. And to hear that next day, you gave me this information, I was like, Jesus, what the hell's going on, man?
And Matt's got a little something on Carey Price here, too, on the topic of mental health. He came out with a statement on what he's been going through. He posted this on social media.
Yeah, let me get it up here So Carey Price came up on Instagram. I don't know if he did it on Twitter. I'm sure he did. But just to say what he pretty much coming out and say what's going on. So I'll read verbatim what he said. Over the last few years, I have let myself get to a very dark place, and I didn't have the tools to cope with that struggle. Last month, I made the decision to enter a residential treatment facility for substance abuse. Things had reached a point that I realized I needed to prioritize my health for both myself and for my family. Asking for help when you need it is what we encourage our kids to do, and it was what I needed to do. I'm working through years of neglecting my own mental health, which will take some time to repair. All I can do is take it day by day. With that comes uncertainty with when I will return to play. I appreciate all of the overwhelming support and well wishes. I please ask that the media and our hockey community continue to respect our privacy at this time. Your support and respect of this so far has been a critical piece to my recovery. And he said it again in French. But yeah, so for him to come out and be like, hey, this is what's going on. I didn't know there was a. I'm glad the media and everything really wasn't pushing to get more information out of him, which was kind of good for him to come say what happened. But I'm glad he got the help that he needed. again, it takes a big man to come out here and just kind of say, especially for the fans, people wondering too, be like, yeah, this is what's going on. This is, respect my wishes and.
Yeah, and I mean, it's tough news for Canadiens fans whose team has already played 15 games this season, more than most other teams in the league. They're 4-10-1 to start the season off. They're really banking on him to make his return, but much like a regular injury, man, this isn't something that you want to rush back because, if he comes back too soon and then realizes, hey, I need to check myself back out for a little bit, that's not going to help anything. So give it time, let him take his time to get back on the ice, and when he does, hopefully you guys can turn it around and get into the playoffs in time.
Yeah, don't rush it. I know your team's having a hard time right now, but you can never rush something like this. You want him back 100%. Whether how long that takes, you're going to appreciate when he comes back. And knowing that he's getting the help he wants, I guarantee he's going to come back at like 110%. He's going to be the Carey Price that brought you guys to the playoffs, most likely.
While we're there, too, we don't have notes on this, but Vegas released a statement on Jack Eichel saying he successfully had the surgery that he wanted to have, and there's no timeline for his return, but Vegas will update us as that goes on. So that's good news in Vegas as well on the injury front.
Where are we?
Connor McDavid making a nice list here. He is in the middle of a record-setting point streak by the Oilers organization. It's the longest season-opening point streak. He's currently in fourth place with 13 consecutive games. In third is Gretzky with 16. Second is Gretzky with 30. And first is Gretzky with 51. So hopefully he can get 3 or 4 more games and take that third spot. But after that, that's not going to happen, I don't think.
Oh, hell no.
If anyone could do it, it'd be McDavid. But in this league, that's a lot to ask, man.
That's just the Oilers. That's just the Oilers organization streak. That Gretzky 51 in first is actually first in the entire league. No one has touched him. I think Marleau Lemieux is 42, 43, I think I saw. So even you got to catch up to Marleau Lemieux. You got to catch up to Gretzky. It's difficult for these new guys.
Yeah, and it's interesting that these are season opening streaks. So Gretzky started the season and went 51 games straight with these without missing a point. This Troy Terry guy on the Ducks has 12 of his 13 games with the streak, so he missed that first game, but it's cool to see, man. That's a lot.
It's when you look up like streaks and just what's the word I'm looking for here? Just
stats in general,
records, yeah. And then, you're like, oh, this is why they call him the Great One, because it's just Gretzky, and you're just like, there's no way in hell anyone's catching him.
Yeah, it's Gretzky and Lemieux that just mix in for, 90% of the records. It's insane, man.
It's insane.
And they were, I think, different time periods, right? Gretzky and Lemieux. They played a little bit together, but not really.
Not really, yeah.
And I think it's cool to see, the parity in the league now, where now it's just fucking impossible because of how much better the league's gotten. And Gretzky was literally from the fucking future, basically.
Yeah, right.
He was just torching people and just doing more than anyone else could at the time. So, and I think we see a little bit of that with McDavid, but it's just not the same. You can't directly compare it like that,
No, the training for these guys too is totally different. The whole Wayne Gretzky era is just, I don't know if the postseason, in between seasons, a lot of guys were working still, and there was no going to the gym really. There's no hockey training year round.
In the locker room and cigarettes.
Yeah, it was Gretzky was probably one of the very few that are just nope, I'm going to do this year round somehow. Meanwhile, the other guys are just well, I'm gonna have a beer, some hot dogs, burgers, just
living my kind of life.
Living my kind of life, yeah. And, we saw that with Gretzky. And I guess he was in a good era, too, where there were so many guys just eating those burgers, man. They're just I'm going to blow right by every single one of you.
Yeah, nuts.
Crazy to see. Yeah, I was watching a few videos when I was doing this, the whole Gretzky thing here with McDavid. I ended up going on YouTube, looking up a few videos of Gretzky, and you're like, Jesus Christ, man, insane. Gretzky's office was just the majority of it, and you're like, oh, that's why they call it that.
Speaking of Gretzky's office this week, I think it was Minnesota against Buffalo on the power play. Unreal goal. It was just kind of mean, honestly. It was basically the umbrella setup, but upside down. So they're in Gretzky's office, just passing the puck behind the net back and forth. Mm-hmm. I think they got 4 passes off, and since they're playing penalty kill, they're on the power play, the penalty kill set up like a diamond, and that one player is just trying to pick which side to pressure on. Mm-hmm. He's going back and forth, and he can't make the decision in time. And they just passed it 3 times, and then walked out front and tucked it in. It was nuts. It was just fucking mean, honestly, but it was hilarious to see. Really nice goal. I forget who scored it, but just want to chime in with that.
I'm trying to think. No, I'll never remember his name. When I came here today, you had some game on. Was it the Devils? Was the Devils playing today?
Yeah, I believe so.
Well, it was either Jack. It might have been Jack Hughes. He came in.
It wasn't the Devils. Actually, they didn't play today. Flames were on. Hurricanes were on.
Oh, sorry, it was the Hurricanes. Oh, it was Eric Stahl, man. He came. They were on a penalty kill. He comes out of the box for just a breakaway on
Philadelphia.
Oh, no, Carter Hart. He gets the shot off. Carter Hart saves it. There was so much time. He grabbed the rebound, came around, and backhanded it.
Oh, no shit.
I'm like, holy shit.
That's nuts. That's quick heads-up play.
That's probably what Wayne Gretzky did a lot. Got to score somehow.
That's right.
Should I want me to do this?
Go for it.
Okay, so the WHSHL suspends fans. The Westman High School Hockey League has suspended fans from Swan River Arena after racial slurs hurled at an Indigenous player. 16-year-old Keegan Gawish, during a hockey game, was subjected to racial slurs thrown at him by young fans at his hockey game. He was also told by teammates that they overheard adults say racial comments as well. Keegan said it broke him down and made him want to quit hockey. It made him feel like a really bad person afterwards. Keegan is from the Rolling River First Nation in Manitoba. He said he wanted to come out and show that racism still exists. The Swan Valley Regional Secondary School said they got in contact with the parents of the children, and they're in the middle of figuring out the punishment right now, while also now putting a parent or adult behind the visiting bench from now on. So I guess good for the school to, try to figure out a way to make it not happen again. But
dude, I just don't get it. Like, racism as a whole just doesn't make sense to me. Like, we're all the same fucking people. Like, I just don't get it. Like, why are you better than him? Why any of this?
And I feel like, especially for Canada, like, I've seen, like, time and time again with, like, the Indigenous from Canada, too. It's just a constant. I'm like, what the fuck are you Canadians doing?
Yeah, but, I mean, you see the same thing in the U.S. when it comes to African Americans.
Yeah,
you know?
right.
So, like, I was thinking the same thing because we don't see the same action that Canada does in the same light. You know what I mean? So
Right.
I thought the same thing at first, and I was like, well, it's the same shit here in the U.S. with African Americans.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just absurd. Like, it doesn't make sense at any point. Like, racism just doesn't click for me. I don't get it.
It's just, it's fucking dumb. And it's a high schooler. It's a 16-year-old kid.
And adults are yelling
And
at him.
adults are doing it.
Absurd.
I'm like, that's fucking disgusting. It's one for a kid his age to start talking shit. That's one thing. But for your
they're
own...
still growing and learning,
Right.
you know?
Before your own teammates to be like, hey, like, adults,
Yeah.
their parents are saying shit too.
That's
That's fucked up.
But we'll move on here to the next thing. It's basically similar story, but has some light at the end of the tunnel. Sold out crowd for a heckled female goalie. She remains to be anonymous. The goalie for Mars Area High School in Pennsylvania is the only girl on their hockey team. Last month, students from Armstrong High School chanted vulgarities at her, which she said left her in tears. They've since been banned from attending the high school games, and because of the videos that surfaced on the internet of the crowd chanting sexist and offensive comments, female hockey Olympians like Kendall Coyne and Megan Duggan came out on social media in support of her. Brienne McLaughlin-Biddle, a two-time Olympic silver medalist who is the goaltending coach for U.S. women's national ice hockey team, went to the game Monday, as well as 800 people from the community coming out in support of her and women in hockey. So
Packed.
Very cool to see a packed house for something like this. And I think it's awesome to see, crossing the lines in co-ed sports and seeing, like, women play with the men when they need to. Like,
Right.
Maybe there's not a women's hockey program where she's from. And even if there is, like, who cares? If they determine that she's the best player to be on this team, then that's what it is,
Yep.
I don't know. That's how I feel about it, at least.
No, I'm 100% with you. Also, they play at Pittsburgh Penguins practice arena.
Oh, that's pretty
I
cool.
was going to put that in there, but I didn't. But yeah, I'm glad for all the support she's getting. I mean, we support women's hockey this entire time. It's just, I'm like, one, the community, too. 800 people from the community are just like, yep, I'm going to the next game. We're going to pack this. I think the majority of it was all women with, like, signs saying, go girls, go. Just, like, all in support of her. Again, she was anonymous, so we don't know who the girl is. But it sucks for that to happen. It sucks for the kid before and fucking Jesus Christ. And
Keegan, right?
Keegan, right, for that to happen. But it's good for hockey in a sense where the community can come up and stand up against that and support of each other. Like, it sucks for Keegan and this girl, but in the same sense, people from all around the hockey community see this stuff, and we all have each other's backs, and we're like, no, that's wrong. This is not what we stand for. It's not what this game of hockey stands for, and we rally against it.
There's been a lot of bad news in hockey lately too. I fucking hate to see it, like youth hockey. I think it was. I don't want to name the town because I'm not 100% what town it was. But there was a youth hockey brawl where basically like a parent was shoving like one of the players back on the ice because two parents were fighting in the stands and like players were trying to get off the ice, blah, blah, blah. A bunch of shit. But it's the only fucking sport in youth sports that I see parents fighting and like doing this shit. Like I don't see that at football. No. I don't see it at basketball, soccer, baseball, like you name it. It only fucking happens at hockey, and I don't understand why. Like that commercial that we talked about that was on like a million times. It was funny and really clever the first time we saw it, and then we're like, all right, get it off the TV, just because we've seen it so many times.
Yeah.
It's just a game. You know what I mean? You wouldn't do this at their school tests, but it just baffles me, man. Like a lot of bad light on hockey lately, and it fucking sucks. I hate to see it.
Past like 3-4 weeks, man. It's all been just like depressing hockey news, and you're like, the hell's going on with this sport right now? There's nothing like.
It's from the top down too. Like you see it in the NHL and shit. Too, so it's terrible. But let's hope next season we turn it around.
Trying to find the light at the end of the tunnel here.
Yeah.
But you want to do this? This is a good. So
they actually put out a new statue in front of the Hockey Hall of Fame in Toronto. A new statue there is calling out the gender gap in hockey and asking for more female representation in the game, which I think is great. It definitely needs to be there. And I think that we're, as a whole, taking steps to get there. You see female referees in the AHL this season that we talked about. I think it's gonna sound bad when I say it, but I think we need to find the women that can keep up and keep pace with these NHL players if they want to, be in those referee positions. But that doesn't mean that they can't be behind the bench, coaching, broadcasting, everything else. Like, you name it.
Yeah.
And eventually, we're going to find those women that can keep up and keep pace with the refs.
Right.
I actually played with a woman that this week that played in the NWHL before they became the PHF. And she was, like, the best women player I've ever seen. She fit right in with the level that we were at. And we were like, it was a high level, probably the highest level I've played. I got fucking shelled. I sucked. But regardless, like, it was so cool to see. She fit right in with the guys that we were skating with. And these were, like, good fucking players. And I was very impressed. Thought it was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And another portion of the gender gap comes to say, when I skated with her, we were talking about, what the salary was like, what she ended up doing. She was making $6,000 on the team to play, which is fucking nothing. And she actually ended up leaving because it wasn't enough money and it wasn't worth it. And it's kind of sad to see that $6,000 is the most that the best female athlete in the world can make. You know what I mean? It's gone up, obviously. We're up to like 12, 13 grand, I think, in the league now. But I don't want to name drop her either. But I thought it was really cool. Like, wow, she's like fucking really good.
Right. I thought that with the Boston Pride that I saw practice. I'm just like, their hair practicing by themselves. It was just 4 girls, so I'm sure they just got the ice just like to keep up and practice. And I'm like, they're not getting paid.
Yeah, I mean that's
right?
their home like practice arena. So, yeah, I mean they're just there because I'm out of work and I'm gonna go work on shit. You know what I mean? So it's cool to see.
Ho! It's been a while. I feel like it's been like an episode or two. All right. Well, now it's down to me. It's back to just me, Billy. Zoom in on this beautiful face. All right. So we also got I don't know. It's news. It's hockey news. We have Anaheim Ducks GM Bob Murray, who resigned. The Ducks placed him on leave pending an internal investigation into allegations of improper professional conduct. The following day, he resigned, and assistant GM Jeff Solomon has taken over. Murray will enroll in an alcohol abuse program. Seeing a lot of these old guys starting to... I don't know. You brought up Babcock here.
Yeah, he's starting to phase out, I think, across the league, like out with the dinosaurs, as Leonard put it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Bob Murray, from what I could tell, this isn't like word for word, I'm not 100%, but I think what I saw was he was creating basically like a hostile work environment, similar to what Babcock does. Like, oh, you better fucking play good tonight or else, you're going out down the minors and you'll never come back up. Like, just intimidation factors, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And good for, Bob Murray to enter the alcohol abuse program if that's what he needs to get done.
Yeah.
But you know,
I don't know. Like how much of this is going on that we're gonna find out weeks from now? You know?
Yeah, and like we obviously don't have much on this. We might have more in the weeks to come, but I mean, at the end of the day, it just seems like same story, different team.
Right.
You know?
I feel like there's gonna be more shit. Coming up. There was actually was it Jeff Solomon or someone else I looked up, or was it oh no, it was Chicago Blackhawks. Who did I talk about with the Chicago Blackhawks here?
Colleton?
Was he the one? No. The guy they brought up here was fired. Oh, Derek King. So I wasn't gonna put it in here, but I guess. So Derek King was placed on leave when he was in the AHL last year for like months for like what's the word? Like verbally abusing players like back in the day.
But the hard part of this is it's been such a culture change to go from this is how you get the most out of guys. You scream at them, you yell at them, like you push them that way, and that's how you get the most out of them. And now it's more of like we let the players drive the game. The skill's going to do it. If they fuck up, that's okay.
Yeah.
And like back in the day, you do some fancy shit, you turn the puck over as a rookie, like you're done, you're sitting, and you might not fucking play another minute.
Right.
So it's just it's weird to see like different times, but there's a certain line too.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know how to explain it better, basically.
And if it's like fucked up, then I'm like, yeah. But if it's again, I didn't want to bring it up because I couldn't find any examples of what he did, nor is there a lot of examples for Bob Murray that we could find. But if it's just them screaming at their plays, like
which like is abuse of players, but that works. You know what I mean? Some players need that.
It's gotta work, man.
It's weird. We don't really know.
We don't know.
Yeah.
But
what else is new?
we know nothing.
We're useless, but here you go. All right, so we got some other funny news here. Sabres Rasmus Stlin with a nice whiff on a puck. This was hilarious. Buffalo versus Seattle.
It's even better in slow-mo.
It's great. November 5th, Seattle scores the empty net goal to put the team up 5-2, and Rasmus Stlin goes to take a slap shot at the puck in frustration. He's like pissed off. He goes to clear the puck and absolutely snap it after they've already been scored on, and he just eats shit into the boards. Hilarious. But the best part to me was this isn't his first blooper in the NHL. Last year, well, technically this year, February 28th of last season, versus the Flyers, he got called for a minor penalty, and he entered the wrong penalty box on a call and just went into like the opposing team's penalty box. But you really couldn't blame him there because through February 28th, which is late into the season, probably about halfway, he'd only had 6 penalty minutes through the first half.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, I don't come here often, so hilarious, though, to see him eat shit like that.
But it's just like, oh, my God. It's like the zoom in. It's just funny because like, there's a zoom in on the puck just sitting there. And then here comes Darlene just like slow-mo trying to slap it out, whiffs, and just eats shit in slow-mo like into the boards. Oh, God. It's so good.
Sneaky team right now, though. 6-5-2 after a win tonight. They're actually in 5th place in the Atlantic Division, beating out the Bruins right now.
Yeah.
So, interesting.
We'll
see.
I'm telling you, Buffalo, they were starting to like, I mean, you were just like, what was it, last week or the week before? You were just like, well, we're starting to see these teams actually be who they are. But I think Buffalo's kind of hanging on here for a while. I think Detroit's the same way.
And I think Detroit's up there too, 7-6-2, and they're in the 3rd spot in the Atlantic. I think those two teams are actually benefiting from a suck season last year. Mm-hmm. I think that a lot of these teams are going in and it's like a trap game. They're thinking like, oh, we got an easy win tonight. We're playing Buffalo. I don't have to give a shit. And then bang, bang, you end up losing 3-2 like the Oilers tonight. It's insane, you know?
Nuts.
A team that's 10-2, the Oilers now 10-3, go into this game against Buffalo and lose. Like, what happened, you know?
Right.
Kind of nuts.
Moving on. Do you want me to do the Dustin Tokarski one first?
Whatever you want to do.
All right, we'll go in order. So, Dustin Tokarski, Fleury, and Brian Elliott are one of the very few in the NHL that still use wooden foam core sticks, while other goalies have moved to composite. With that said, there's a photo up with Dustin Tokarski and his stick that's absolutely destroyed. And so, like, a lot of companies don't make sticks. Like, even for NHL players, like I was saying, like, you can customize anything, but for some reason, sticks, even like Bauer or whatever, just like, we've switched to composite, man. You're going to have to move to that. So, like,
It's nuts that they don't cater to these guys, too. I saw the same thing a couple seasons ago with Patrick Marleau. I think he was still on San Jose, and then he went to Toronto, and now he's wherever the fuck he is now.
Right.
But he had skates from way back in the day, and they were like, we're not making these anymore. So he's like, I'm going to buy every pair that you have. Like, this is the only skate that I use, and I use a new pair like every, call it 2-3 months, right? Yeah. So he had like 7 pairs backed up, ready to go. And then he was on his last pair, and they were beat to shit, and he was like just like hanging on to a thread. And like, how do they not cater to the top players in the world, top league in the world? Like, make me what I fucking want. I don't care how much it's going to cost the team because this shit's all free to me.
Right.
Like, fucking get me it. You know?
Like, we're going to get to Tuukka Rask pretty soon, but Vaughn still makes those. His glove is the Vaughn 8800 Epics, which came out back in, like, fucking 2006. And Vaughn specifically makes the same glove for him.
No shit.
So it's funny that they could do shit for like gloves and stuff, but for like sticks and like skates, they're just like,
it's honestly just like, I bet they could, but they just don't. I don't understand why. Yeah. No reasoning behind it, but
I don't know. But yeah, I saw Dustin Tokarski put up St. Louis Blues put up a thing, and stick was destroyed in the caption they had about the sticks, and I was so interested in it for that reason. We're just like, these guys are NHL, like you should. Again, what you said, like, catered to it. But then I saw Fleury, and I was like, oh, interesting. If you actually look up Fleury and his sticks, he paints them or has them black, so you can't notice it. But if you zoom in on a lot of his sticks, like mid-game, it's all fucked up. And I used to be the same way. Like I like my wood, I like my foam core, like composite, not really my big thing. But yeah, it's kind of I thought that was crazy to see. That I'm like, I feel like these companies who, for like a goalie who's wearing like true sticks, that they're wearing your brand. They're kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Sponsoring, representing your brand. You would think you would cater to them and be like, well, okay, you want foam core, let me make foam core for you so you can show it in like a decent light. But I don't know. I didn't like it.
I just think that maybe from a company perspective, right? They're like, yeah, we can cater to him, but like, what's it gonna do for us? Like, we're not gonna make enough of these to sell because people don't want this anymore. They want the new shit. You know? I don't know, but that's just my way of looking at it. But seemed to get the job done for Tokarski tonight, who won 3-2 over Edmonton, like we talked about. So. Moving on, you good?
Yeah.
Zach Fucale, first NHL start and shutout tonight last night versus Detroit. He had a 21 save shutout and a 2-0 win versus Detroit this week, and he's the first goalie with a shutout in his NHL debut since Garrett Sparks on 11/30 of 2015.
Been following Zach Fucale for years. Even when he was playing for Montreal Canadiens, he was always in like the Montreal Canadiens. Sort of looking for
AHL, minor league affiliate.
Yeah, minor league affiliate, but like in the summertime they do the oh my god,
Beauty League.
Not the Beauty League. They bring up the rookies up, the rookie camp or whatever. Yeah, and he's always up there. He's it's very like quick goalie, like small / very quick on his feet, nice and tight. I've always wanted to see him play in the league and just never got it. But here we are, man.
I feel like he's been around so long, even just from playing the NHL games. I've seen his name for like ever. He's been in the pros, which is like QMJ, since 2011, which is a long time. He's only 25 years old too, so he's a lot younger than his stats show because he's been around for a long time, like a lot of seasons. And it's good to see him get his first NHL win. Good to see him get a shutout, and maybe this is the sticking point for him that says, hey, I deserve to be here. It's time to call me up. And I mean, if you're the Capitals, maybe sell high on him, kind of thing.
I did my time. Give
he
me.
He did his time and like 3 other guys' time. Been down there for a bit, huh?
Yeah, we have what the hell's his name from New York Rangers that just like, no, I'm not getting sent down.
Yeah, no shit.
That's funny as shit. Sorry. So I don't have this up at all, which I probably should have. But do you know it by heart at all? The Bergeron whole situation.
No.
So, oh man, that's something I probably should have.
Yeah, we're probably good on that.
Okay, yeah, we could skip that. It was. We could probably talk about it next week, but yeah, it was an interesting call on the ice that you kind of explained, but we'll skip that because this is specifically for Kenny A from Taunton, Massachusetts here. Tuukka Rask was spotted in Warrior S Arena practicing. How do you feel about that? comeback?
Ahead of schedule. No contract right now, so he said he will play for, league minimum. So hopefully the Bruins say, here's your league minimum and see what happens. I mean, they could definitely use him to return right now with their standings. 6-5-0 through 11 games. They're third up from the bottom. What do they got? Swagman and Allmark? I don't know. Allmark is done, what I thought Allmark was going to be. I thought he was going to be average, below average.
Yep.
You overpaid him for what I think he's worth personally.
Yep.
$3 million is not way overpay, but definitely overpay. And, I mean, moving on from Vladar, a little weird. I think he played really well for, is it Calgary that he's on, I think?
Dan Vladar, yeah. Calgary,
yeah, played well for them tonight. And, I mean, that's it. I mean, they lost 2-1 in overtime, but that's a good matchup against the Leafs. So.
Is that a team thing, though? I've seen a few good Allmark saves as of late. Although I'm not a full fan of him, No,
I mean, he slots into me as goalie number, 20 to 40 in the league.
Yeah.
If you're looking at it, a league of 60 goalies.
Yeah, right.
If I look at it like that.
Right.
I would even say 30 to 50. That's just my opinion.
Right.
I don't know. Nothing special. Just here you go.
Just okay.
But I think the Bruins understand that they're strong as a front team. I think they're overly confident in their defensive core. And they say, hey, we can save some money in net and wait for Tuukka to come back.
Yeah.
And he is ahead of schedule. It's November, and he's already practicing. So,
which is good. Good for him.
Yeah, good for the team.
Mm-hmm. I would like to know what they're going to sign him. Think they're going to do like a 1 year type of thing, 2 year type of thing?
I think 1 year, get him on the books for, as cheap as you can, and then take it from there.
Yeah.
Because this is going to be, hey, I was injured. I understand that. And he says on some podcast that I'll take short money to play this year. So get that for the year. And he wants to stay here. So next year, then he can look at a real contract for him,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think the Bruins are missing Tuukka. I think the Canadians are missing Carey Price. I don't know. Big moves here. A lot of moves throughout the off season, and a lot of changes right now for the league. People are still going on with the COVID protocol, so that's changing a bunch of stuff. But I don't know. With all this change, again, I'm gonna bring up that whole Detroit Buffalo. All these changes, you're seeing teams like that all of a sudden just kind of come up.
I'm honestly kind of shocked about Seattle too. That's nuts, man. Bottom of their division, 4-9-0. I think I said.
I don't know. I didn't really expect much from them.
I didn't expect them to be dead last in their division.
Yeah, that too.
That's saying something, man. That's not good. 4-9-1. They're worse than the Canucks. They're worse than the Sharks.
Maybe they gotta start tossing actual salmon.
That's what I'm saying, man. Now you're talking my language.
So that's all we got for this week. Any hockey? Have you been playing hockey at all?
Yeah, I play a little bit. Mostly just that pickup skate in the morning. But this episode's going to drop. We're recording on Friday the 12th. This will drop for you guys on Monday the 15th. And you'll get one more episode before Thanksgiving. So we'll drop another one for you on the 22nd. You do anything for Thanksgiving?
Nothing. Probably going to my mother's house. How about you?
Yeah, you can swing here if you want. I have a good number of people over for dinner if you want to come by for desserts and drinks.
Nice.
If you don't end up going to your mom's for dinner, you can come here too. But
nice.
We just redid the dining room, so it's gonna be nice. Nice little quiet Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah, that's right. That massive
thing on the porch.
I saw that.
So for listeners who don't know, it's hilarious. We had this hutch that was getting thrown away from a family friend. And it's technically a computer desk, but it's the old ass one that
huge.
It would close up like this, and then you would open the doors, swing them out, and then the keyboard thing would come out. It's just the old ass when you had dial-up internet. This was your computer desk.
Just massive.
But we just used it for storage and just put shit in it, and it's literally it was too tall to get out of my house. I couldn't. It's so tall. It's literally maybe 2 inches from the ceiling. You couldn't tip it sideways. You would have to tip it back.
I don't know how you got it in the house, especially where it was.
Yeah, my mother and my father-in-law got that in the house, just the two of them.
That's insane.
Hilarious. But basically, the second I got it outside, I was like, fuck this thing. I sawed it in half. I got the saws all out and ripped the thing in half, and it's good burning wood, so I'm just going to burn it too.
I was walking up the stairs tonight because you left. I came and you backed up. You're like, hey, I'm getting dinner. I was like, okay, I'll be inside. And as I'm walking up the steps, I just smell wood, and I'm like, the hell is that smell? And I look up, and the thing is just on its back on the porch. There's wood everywhere. It's all destroyed. I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah, fuck that thing. But the new thing in the dining room is real nice. It makes
I gotta see
bigger,
it. I haven't. I went straight downstairs to. I went straight downstairs to do some notes here. But yeah, it's interesting. So one thing I did want to say, because I brought up hockey, was I edited my Mic'd Up with Matt that I'm going to put up Tuesday. In the video, I'm gonna put up pretty much a sorry on there. I did a dumb thing where I had the mic in like a perfect spot right here where like you can't hear me breathing. I'm not blowing.
Oh no!
And
you moved it.
And I was like, I had time before the game, so I was looking. I'm like, I wonder where's like a good place to put it. And I found it like a little bit closer, like kind of like right here in like the chin area, like next to the mouth. And like it wasn't in the way, like nothing. So I come home. You're on Discord, so when I got back home, I went on Discord, and the first thing I usually do is just watch like a minute or so of it to see how it is. And you just hear, "Hi guys," and I'm like, no.
Oh, yeah.
So I tried my best with that edit.
For those of you that haven't watched them too, they're fucking hilarious. They're really good. Like they came out really nice. I like watching them. There's one week where you're talking to the ref, and since the mic's on this side of your head, you're talking to him and he's over here, and you like can't hear him, and then you turn this way and you get it perfect. It's hilarious.
Yeah, I like to get those refs are cool as shit. I like the different content for that where I see a lot of shots, but at the same time, like I'd rather throw in some talking content and some other the players in there too, and it's not just me trying to think I'm some professional who's some fucking scouts watching this shit. You know, just like it's all trying to make it as much content as possible. Yeah, I apologize for this one coming out, but I hope you like it.
Nice.
I swear to God, the mic's going back to normal this Monday because we got another game coming Monday.
That's hilarious.
I keep saying this might probably be the third week in a row. I'm like, really, I might dip with Chris going.
Yeah, we'll
Chris
see.
in the crease.
We'll see.
We'll see. It'll happen one day.
Maybe.
That's it. Want to call it?
That's it, buddy. You want to do a shot?
I don't.
Peanut butter and jam. I can't give you a bam, but I can give you a peanut butter and jam. The fuck are you doing, Phil?
All right, want to tell everyone what this is?
Yeah, I did this one episode. I think I let you pick, and you made me suffer. You picked peanut butter and jelly vodka, Vincent Van Gogh brand. We have like a whole bottle of this to drink too, so.
I ran out of nips, so.
Punishment.
This is punishment.
This is the shot of shame.
This is the shot of shame. Speaking about this, Arby's? No, is it Arby's who's the...
Roast beef, we have the meats.
No, it's like Chicken Spot.
Chick-fil-A?
As a Chick-fil-A, they're coming out with their own vodka. It's two different ones.
Oh, I think I did see that. I forget who it was. I think you're right, though. Chick-fil-A.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Chicken flavor vodka?
Oh, I think it's the fries ones. It's the regular fries and the Cajun fries vodka from...
from Five Guys?
No, not from Five Guys. From
Chick-fil-A?
Chick-fil-A.
Huh.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah.
We're going to have to buy a bottle.
No, fuck you, buy a bottle. Buy a fucking nip.
The bottle
Buy
of
one
shame.
nip for yourself.
Oh, Jesus. All right, well, cheers to a good episode, bud.
Cheers, man.
To I Love Vegas with the marijuana playing on it. Thanks, man.
Let's go Vegas.
Fuck.
I shouldn't have sniffed when I did it.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That's not good.
No.
Who the fuck made that? Oh.
No.
I've had some fucked up shit on here, but that's up there.
We'll do Baijiu next week.
What's Baijiu?
That Asian liquor that I was telling you about.
Oh, fuck.
I'm just kidding. We're never doing that.
We're never doing that. Nope. No thanks. Do you want to call us out, bud?
All right. Thanks, everyone, for listening. If there's anything you want to see us cover next episode, let us know. Our links are in the description, and we'll see you all next week. Peace.